Happy July 4th weekend, surviving the heat. I'm talking today about redefining success. A lot of us know things are out of whack in some ways in the world, and my 30-year journey, intensive coal to diamond discovery, has really led me to understand the problems and the solutions for society and for companies, families, and individuals, including you. So that's the essence of my work. It's an art and a science. And I want to talk about kind of the problem really wrapped up in the pursuit of success these days. Because a lot of it, to me, a lot of it is fear-based. You know, we operate with a sense of scarcity. Like people got to be mean and everybody's got to cut one another off and all this. And the essence of my work, and this is again, forged over 30 years, is to create things like, you know, the fairness revolution, gentle genius coaching, work on emotional distress. And I'm going to talk about those a bit today in terms of helping people, companies, families, and individuals reach for a better way of success, which is really what through finding our purpose and other ways, really what I've discovered is a better way for success. Because when we see society these days, we see how divisive it is and the put downs of people, you know, thinking that's cool and that's tough and all that kind of thing. And I'm talking about a better way, a different way for, I even talk about the magic of the third way, which is assertive, not aggressive, not passive. But, the essence of my 30-year journey and what I'm bringing forth is to create a psychology for success, a way for success that is not about beating one another up, not about cutting one another off. There are legitimate battles we've got to take on. And that's part of the gentle genius essence, is to help people understand what's a necessary battle and most are not necessary battles, to separate the wheat from the chaff on that. So let me talk a little bit about, I'll talk about the fairness revolution, because what I'm getting at, why I've created, here we are, 250 years of America, and I've created a new revolution of the mind, which is the fairness revolution. And what I've seen in our systems, from legal, financial, political, and all different online, is that, a lot of our systems right now are operating with a corruptive sense. And this again goes back to psychology, because there's a selfishness or a fear. If I don't grab mine, I won't get mine. And with the fairness revolution, what it does is says we put fairness back at the core, in business, politics, sports, everywhere. That, we get it. And here's a key point that I bring forward, because a lot of people don't really think of it this way, that everybody wants success. Most of us want success, and many of us deserve it, right? So it's not a question of, let's keep the success in the closet for a privileged few or this kind of thing. It's more a matter that how do we create realms of success where we compete fairly. I'm not saying we shouldn't compete. I can compete hard. A lot of people can, but let's do it with integrity and fairness at the basis. That if you're going to pursue something, you've got to do it with integrity. You've got to realize at the end of the day, it's not to obliterate another person, push them into the ground. That fairness has to be a way, and that. With Gentle Genius Coaching, that's where I help, again, companies, families, and individuals find what I call the magic of find your purpose for one, because purpose is the anchor. Where opinion is up here, purpose is deeper, and it gives you the resilience to navigate and go on when all kind of things come at you. And for companies especially, being proactive in defining your purpose means you're not going to get sidetracked and side-whammied from people all over the place. You're going to be able to, proactively put yourself out more positively. The third way, what I'm getting at there is that, helping people, and this is why it's magic, because most of us really only know about being aggressive, angry, or being passive. It doesn't matter. Just the magic is in the third way, learning to stand for oneself assertively and appropriately. Okay, so you can take a stance, but you're not being rude. You're not being cruel. You're certainly not being intentionally harmful to others. You learn to stand in an appropriate fashion, and these become the leaders. Let me grab one of our honors. This is the honor that I want to help companies, help people access. and that your picture's in there, and that we define what's special about you, what's special right now for $299. And that gets people on the right path. Make sure you're on the right path to finding your purpose and developing your resilience to stand tall in this day and age. Because one thing my 30 years has really taught me, I don't know anything, but I know the psychology of our times. I know the extreme narcissism. I know the hateful behaviors. And purpose is that remedy where we can stand tall and project ourselves for. I've done the math on it. So for me, it's an art and a science, that it's really a science to finding your purpose. And the art is helping you kind of inculcate it and communicate it appropriately and assertively. And I also do some work, a fair amount of work about emotional abuse. And directly, I've kind of elevated this whole tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress. Because with this narcissism, with psychopathic even behavior, with people being denigrated, this tort is a civil means to combat emotional abuse. It really, and I'm bringing this to some of the higher courts you can ever find. And it's, again, society doesn't really know about it yet because they think, emotional abuse, it doesn't matter. Emotional abuse can be as painful as anything, physical or more, because it can be enduring. There's a mocking element, and it can go on for decades and decades unless it's appropriately understood and identified. I have a test case on it that I'm advancing, and I'd love for people to start to get to understand it. And I'm going to continue no matter what in all these areas: the fairness revolution, gentle genius coaching, the work on emotional abuse, my own life, because we need to shift our psychology. We've got to say success is good. Success is for most of us, all if not all. And success must be gained appropriately and with fairness, integrity at the core. And this is where society's going off, be it politically, legally, socially. We think we have to grab. When we're coming more from our heart, we can lead in a calmer, more productive, and positive way. So please do take a look at our website, and I'd love for you to like and subscribe. This video, as people say, I often say it late in the game, if at all. Take a look at our websites if you're interested in training, coaching, mediation, really inculcating this psychology that I've developed through Gentle Genius, Fairness Revolution, other ways, because you're going to be one of the true leaders. You can begin with this honor, as I say, and get on that path to greatness. Genius is a long way off, and greatness, however, is reachable for a lot of folks, and that's what I can help you do, because I do understand the psychology of our times and what's necessary. And that's what 30 years of work, coal to diamond, not just like 30 years of linear, really deep level work, and then bringing it up for society.